Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. I'm Matthew Dunstan, one half of Postmark Games. And this evening we're going to be playing some of the new map that we've just revealed over on the Voyages Kickstarter, the Marauders Reef. So I hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to give a bit of time for the normal sort of academic 5 minutes for people to come by. Hope everyone is well. I'm just gonna still setting up all the tech and things, so I'll just put the thing. Board games, okay. Hopefully that's fine. Okay, that seems to be fine. Hi, Tantalorus. How are you going? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so how's everyone doing on this Friday evening? You see behind me, this is my advent calendar. It's actually a almost vintage one. I think it's about 40 years old, from Denmark, that was passed down through my family. But it's one where you put small cardboard cutouts and kind of slot them into this sort of growing scene. We're also doing the exit advent calendar as well. Hi, Fudge Dice Roll. How are you going? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and thanks very much for dropping by. We will be getting to everything soon. Apologies, I am just trying to work out everything. That's fine. That's fine. Everything should be okay. All right. Well, I mean, the first thing I guess to say is, well, thank you to everyone who has pledged on the Kickstarter, because, wow, I mean, as if anyone caught the stream on, was it forgotten the day now? On Tuesday evening, it was, it was a lot of fun, and I mean, I don't think I would be here talking about the game if I didn't realize. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that we would have got to this point in, like, I don't know. I mean, it's what, 3 days or something, which is just crazy. Oh, thanks very much. Thanks for backing. Yeah, well, definitely, it's a good chance. I mean, this is going to be a slightly advanced, not advanced. I mean, a bit different. So it's we'll be playing through the Marauders Reef, which is the second map. So if you look down here, a bit further down on the page. So the idea is that we're going to regularly release new maps for Voyages. So that's our plan. That's already our plan, and we'd already had 2 finished for the campaign. So the idea is that both this and the first map that we saw on Tuesday night, and a lot of other streamers that have played, both will be delivered at the end of the Kickstarter campaign. Which I should remind folks that while we are pretty much ready to go and everything's pretty much finished, like about 95% done, we'll still have to wait for the payment from Kickstarter to process, and that can take up to about 2 weeks. So we're really hoping that we can deliver before Christmas, but it's a little bit out of our hands. We need the money, like the pledges, to kind of process, and credit card stuff and all this sort of stuff on Kickstarter side. But the moment we get that, we can send out the emails with all the files and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. And yeah, so you'll get these 2 maps in that first email, effectively. First title. I'm a freelance journalist and actually dipping my toes into solo tabletop, both playing and working on my very own game. Oh, well, fantastic. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that. Yeah, I used to, if you look back on this channel, there are, well, I guess there's probably not many, they don't keep old videos very long, but I used to stream quite regularly talking about tabletop game design. I myself am a game designer. I've been designing games for about 10 years now, roughly, and I have about 30 published games. Yeah, I used to talk about what it's like being a full-time game designer, because from next year, I am going to be a completely full-time game designer, which is really, really cool. And I mean, Postmark Games is one part of that, and it's become a very exciting part of it, sort of that I wouldn't have expected it to. Thanks for wonderful backers like yourself. So yeah, thanks very much for backing the game. And yeah, what else to say? Well, it's not a lot else to say. I mean, the only other thing to say is you can see We have some question marks for map 3 here, wherever. And we're hoping that we will have a few more details about that to come. And yeah, also because it's a sort of this print at home sort of idea, it means we can release new content and update it and get it out to backers really easily. So that's all contained in your pledge. If you pledge for the game now, you're going to get these 2 maps now when we deliver. And hopefully in the future, we'll regularly release new content, whether that's new maps or new ways to play, solo campaigns, things like that. Who knows? We're open to a lot of ideas, and we have a lot of ideas of what we want to work on as well. So we think that's really exciting, and we think that it's a pretty good deal for backers. Yeah. So today we are going to be playing the Marauders Reef. So I hope this shows up okay. I hope it's not too blurry. I've had a few issues with the image quality. Don't worry, when you get the game, it won't be blurry. It's just we've been working on the files, and I might have imported something slightly wrong, but I'm hoping that it can all, it all makes sense. But just do let me know if there's a problem there. I also am going to try and bring up. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the dice rolling. You might have to sort of trust me on the dice rolling. What I might do is I might type it into the chat so folks can see what I roll, because I have just I'm going off. I will find some dice. I just have like 3 physical dice that I'm going to be rolling this evening. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, hi Jess, how you going? Welcome. I will, for everyone else who's watching, I'm going to be on Jess's stream from on Monday evening, I believe, and we're going to be playing the first map of Voyages. So obviously, Jess is over here trying to get some tips or trying to see what my secret strategy is. Good thing I've decided to do a different map, so I'm sure you won't know everything. But thanks very much for dropping by. And if you get a chance to follow Jess, I will actually just find the channel. Hopefully that's it. Oh no, it's underscore. Yeah, so we'll be basically the same time, but on Monday evening as now. That looks better. That looks more like your channel, Jess. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, so give Jess a follow. She's wonderful. We had a really fun playthrough of Chocolate Factory, another one of my games, a few months ago. I don't know. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. How did you know I was going to look tonight to get tips and strategies? Well, you got to get ahead however you can. So that's perfectly fine. No, perfect, great. So I never fudge you. Oh, I see what you did there, fudge dice roll. You got to get whatever you can into the. Got to take the jokes when you've got them. I don't even have a dice tray or anything, so I'm very low tech this evening. I mean, I'm generally a bit low tech, but that's fine. So anyway, so how does this map work? So I'm sort of assuming that folks have like a bit of an idea of how the game plays, but I'm going to explain how the game plays generally, and then I'll get into the specifics of this map. So we are the captain, or I am captain of a ship, and we're going to be sailing a voyage around these seas that are infested this time with marauders. We start on this hex here that's start, which is the sort of the start island, and we play for 16 rounds. So this is the solo game where you just play for 16 rounds. In the multiplayer game, you don't have a set number of rounds, but you play until someone gets 3 legendary stars, and that triggers the end of the game. But in the solo game, you get 16 rounds. To win, to not lose, you have to get at least 3 stars in those 16 rounds. If you do, then you have won, you haven't lost, and then you score and see how well you did, basically. And that's the same in every one of the Voyages maps, and that's the same here. It's the same in the first map. Each of the rounds, we're going to roll 3 dice, 3d6, and you're going to choose how you're going to use each of those 3 dice. One of the dice is going to be the direction in which you move. And you can see down here that there's this windrose, and like the 1 is straight up, the 2 is kind of like to the northeast, 3 is to the southeast, and 4, 5, 6. So whatever number you choose, that's the direction your ship is going to move. One of the other dice you're going to choose is going to be the direction that, the distance that you move. It's like the speed of your ship, and you're going to move that many hexes in that particular direction. I should note, if you hit the side of the map, you stop automatically, and also if you hit an island, you also stop. And actually, there's a special thing in this particular map, which are the reefs, which are these shaded hexes here. And normally when you hit a reef, just like the edge of the map, you also stop. You don't go onto the reef space, you stop just before it, basically. Seth, this is Seth Jaffe, wonderful game designer and co-designer. We're working on a few things. I've been playing some Chocolate Factory on BGA Board Game Arena lately. It makes me want to snack on some candy. Yeah, I mean it's even worse in person. Because you have these wonderful little chocolate pieces in Chocolate Factory, so you want to even eat it even more. So that can be a bit of a problem. What are we doing? Yeah, so those are the two dice, direction and speed, and the final dice is used in the duties. And in this particular map, so duties change from map to map, but it always means that you use one dice and you have to cross off a box of that matching number. In the duties for this particular map, you have to cross them out left to right, and you see each of the rows is one of the particular numbers. And usually when you make a complete row or column, you get some sort of bonus. I'll go into that a little bit later about how the duties work that, but that's how every round works. You're basically going to choose two dice for your movement, you'll move, and then you'll do one for your duties. And depending on where you land, you might get some benefit. So if you land directly on one of these anchor spaces, you get a sailor. So you'll get a new sailor down here. So for example, I would draw, a box around here, and I would get a new sailor. Sailors are useful because you can spend as many sailors as you want on one turn to alter one die plus or minus one. And you can use multiple sailors on a single die. You can use some sailors on multiple dice in the same turn. That's all fine. Hey, Dutch Yoda, how you going? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for dropping by. Getting more, but when you use a sailor, you cross it off, and then you don't get to use it again, basically. So yeah, that's if you land on these sailor spaces. You have these relics, which are also they're also in every map. Basically, if you land on a relic, you get to make one of your sailors. You put a circle inside the box, and you've now made that sailor heroic. And the difference between a heroic sailor and a normal sailor is if you use a heroic sailor, you basically get to turn a dice treat it as a wild, so you can turn it to any number you want. I didn't mention with the sailors plus or minus one, the 1 and the 6 wrap around. So if I have a 6, I can go back to a 1. Or a 1 to a 6, but I can't go from a 6 to a 7. There are no 7s in the game. There are no 7s on dice or on d6. That's getting heroic sailor. Actually, heroic sailors in this particular map are even more important. I'll get to that in a little bit. If you land on an island with a number, you're going to get that much gold at the end of the game, and that's points, basically. Some of the islands have these forts, and this is kind of a new thing on this particular map, which I'll get to briefly. And that's about it in terms of kind of the normal kind of rules. How do you get gold, I guess, is like where are you going to score points? You score points, obviously, by going onto islands with these numbers. You get that much gold. Every row that you completely in the duties will give you 3 points, 3 gold. So you have these also, you can see this sort of dotted line up here, and there's kind of a background here. And there are 6. 1, 2. No, there are 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 regions. There are 6 unexplored sea regions on the map. And basically, if you at least visit an unexplored region at least once, one of the hexes, then that counts, and you count up the total number of different areas you visited at the end of the game, and you square that, and that's how many points you get. So if I visited 4 unexplored regions, I get 16 points at the end of the game. So that's that. The Marauders, I'll get to that. You get points. We're going to be fighting off these Marauders, these sort of enemy ships that are already out on the map. We'll get gold for that. Every heroic sailor you have left at the end of the game gives you 2 gold. This is for the completed duty rows, which I've just said. And every legendary star you have, you get 3 gold as well. And as I said, in the solo game, in 16 rounds, you must get at least 3 legendary stars. Otherwise, you lose, and your score is for naught. Okay, so that's just a really brief overview of the game system generally. Now I'm going to go a little bit into specifics of what's new in this particular map. So the first off are the Marauders. And I should say, actually, I've got... maybe I will delete this. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, I was trying to get a slightly better thing. Hey, Dead Porn. Yeah, that's it. How are you going? Welcome to the stream. And thank you everyone who's thank you for the follows. Thank you to PF Merix rather, Kleptoportrus, and Fudge Dice Roll. Thanks very much for all the follows. Very much appreciated. So yeah, so the Marauders. The way the Marauders work is that each turn you can fight one Marauder after you move. To fight a Marauder, you must be able to do a straight line in one of the 6 main directions from where you currently are to where the Marauder is. There can't be anything in between. There can't be an island or a reef in between. So if I stopped here, I have a straight line to this 6 Marauder here and this 2 Marauder here. So Marauders come in 3 flavors, and you can see the 3 different shapes down here. You have the kind of easiest ones, which have a defense of 2. You have the medium ones, which have a defense of 4, and there are the difficult ones, which have a defense of 6. Now, to fight a thing, I need to overcome its defense. And my sailors, my ready sailors, are what I use to overcome a ship. So each sailor I have gives me 1, and every heroic sailor gives me 2. So for example, say I wanted to overcome this 2 Marauder here on my turn. So I currently have 6, because I have 6 sailors. I start with 6 sailors. This defense value is 2, but the defense is increased for every space I would have to go to get there. So I'm 2 spaces away, 1, 2. So it's 2 plus 2, or 4. Now I do have more than 4. I have to have just enough. 4 would be enough, but I actually have 6. So that's enough. So I would be able to defeat this Marauder, and I would cross it off, and then I cross off the leftmost box in the row that matches the type that I defeated. So this is the easiest ones here. At the end of the game, I'm going to score points for the lowest uncrossed value in each row. So right now, obviously, it's not so much. I'll just get 1 gold, but hopefully you're going to get more over the course of the game. Importantly, you do not exhaust the sailors when you're fighting. So this is definitely a map that rewards rather careful management of sailors, because it's quite important in order to be able to fight things. You can only fight 1 Marauder each turn, and you do it after you move. In fact, you do it as kind of the last thing you do on your turn. A couple of other things to do with... Oh my gosh, can I get rid of... No, apparently I can't. No. Oh, here we go. Yeah. I was like trying to undo. The other things that can happen with Marauders is that they are one way. There's a new way to get a legendary star from Marauders. If you defeat all the Marauders of a single type, then that gives you a star. So there are 5 of the 2 defense ones. There are 4 of the 4 defense ones and 3 of the 6 defense ones. You can only ever get 1 star from Marauders, even if you do multiple rows. Much like duties. Oh well, we'll get duties anyway. So that's points. You also have these forts, and forts also interact with the Marauders. When you visit a fort, you get a sailor immediately. You see there's a little anchor icon on it. And the other thing that happens is that you circle one of these fort spaces. It's your choice, but you have to choose then when you visit. And basically, that's going to double the value of the gold that you would earn from that row of the Marauders. So, if you're specializing in getting rid of a particular row of Marauders, then you'll get more gold. Thematically, it's kind of like you're picking up a bounty for a particular type of Marauder, effectively, at these forts. So that's forts and Marauders, and those are the sort of points that you get from that. Hopefully that's all clear, but do say something in the chat if it's not. You can land directly on a Marauder. That's fine, and you can fight something directly on the space, and that's actually quite good, because then you're not going to add anything more to its defense. So, like, if I'm directly on this space of this 6 defense Marauder, then I need to have at least 6 value in sailors. So either 6 normal sailors, or say like 4 normal sailors and 1 heroic sailor, for example. And then I get to cross it off. Now I get to fight it. That is marauding. So you have the reefs, as I said before, which are basically impassable. If you would run into them, you stop. So that's another thing. And the last thing that's sort of different are the duties. So as I said before, you have to cross them out from left to right. So firstly, whenever you fill out a column of 3, either the top 3 or the bottom 3, you get a sailor. And then if you do the second column of the top 3 or the bottom 3, you get to turn one of your sailors into heroic. So that's kind of similar to the first map. But what is different in this one is, oh gosh, I've done something. Don't go backwards too much. What's different in this one is when you get to the third, when you cross off the third space in a particular row, you get to unlock the accompanying power. So, for example, on this, in the number ones, you get ores. And basically, you have this power for the rest of the game. And ores give you a plus or minus 1 to your movement die. So whatever die, you get kind of like an automatic sailor to use on it every round. So they're quite powerful, and all the abilities are quite cool. So for the ones, you have ores, which are plus or minus 1 to movement. You have the rudder, which gives it plus or minus 1 to direction. You have the prow, which is really cool in that you get to move through reefs. So you basically get to ignore reefs, which can be really useful because you can see, for example, this island down here is really great. It's 12 points if you can get to it, and a star, and a legendary star. But if you can't get through the reefs, you have to basically sail like a long way around and then back out again. But of course, if you have the prow, then you're able to maybe get through there quite easily. Then the other abilities, you have the ballista, which gives you a +2 when you're fighting, so it sort of reduces the defense of all the ships by 2. You have the quarters, which lets you have a plus or minus 1 to the die you choose for duties, which can be quite useful. And then finally, you have the armory, which means every time you get a new sailor, they're automatically heroic, which is also quite useful and quite good for fighting. So that's when you cross off the 3rd space. When you cross off the 4th space in a row, then you've reached the mastery level of that level. And effectively, that's going to give you 3 gold at the end of the game. But also, to get a legendary star from your duties, you need to get 3 of the rows completed, 3 of the rows to the kind of mastery level. And that's how you get the legendary star. So in every map of Voyages, there are 5 possible legendary stars. So in this particular map, you can get 1 from the Marauders, 1 from the Sailors as normal, when you get your 12th sailor, 1 from the duties, and there are 2 on the map. So there's 1 up here, and there's 1 down here, basically. So yeah, that's pretty much the game, I would say. Hopefully that was reasonably understandable. So I'm going to get going. Yeah, no worries. Thanks very much for dropping by, Gleptoporus. Enjoy your dinner. Not alas. I hope it's tasty. Okay, let's go. Let's do some marauding. Let's see how we go. So we have a 5, a 5, and a 6. What will I do with the 5, a 5, and a 6? So I'm starting here at the start. 5 or 6 is not too bad. A 6 lets me come up here and hit this reef, and then I can fight this person right here. A 5's kind of interesting because I get to come immediately down here and possibly, you know, getting a heroic sailor straight away is quite nice. That could be quite good. I don't get to fight anything because there's nothing kind of in a straight line from here. So maybe what I might do is I might choose the 6. I'm going to go up here. And so I have, and for my speed, it's 5. But because there's the reef, I sort of stop here. And then I have a 5 left over. So I'll cross that off. So I'm sort of working towards the quarters here. And now I'm able to fight this marauder. So the defense is 2. I'm 1 away from it. So the defense is actually 3 that I have to overcome. But I have 6 sailors. So that's fine. I can kill off that marauder. And I cross off the thing. And as always, I have to mark the round. So that's the first round. So maybe I'm going to be hunting down marauders this time. Let's see how it goes. I've got a 4, a 5, and a 6. I'm going to cross this off as the first thing. People are going to have to watch out for me to be counting my turns properly. Okay, so a 4, 5, and a 6. It's interesting, actually, because I could 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, actually, I could kill off this marauder, which is kind of cool because in a 5, I could go 1, 2, 3. So in a 5 direction, but going 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could make it heroic, which would give me 7. And I'm 1 away from a 6 defense, so that'd be 7, and I'd have enough. So maybe I'm going to try that. So I'm going to go 5 direction, and 6 speed. I get a heroic sailor. I get to turn 1 of my sailors into heroic. So now I have kind of a 7 value to fight, and that's exactly what I need to do. 6 + 1, so I can kill this marauder, and that's one of the ones down here. And I have left over. I have a 4, so I put that on my quarters. So yeah, looks like I'm fighting. Maybe I'll try and go up here next and try and get onto this fort, for example, which could be quite good. So let's see how we go. I'm not sure if we've got any. Sorry about the spam. I'm not sure if we've got any mods here to get rid of the spam. Apologies. maybe I can, hold on, probably delete, I could probably do it myself. Anybody want me? No, that's not what I want to do. How do I? Wait. Okay. Hopefully. Yeah, I think I got rid of the thing. Yeah. Okay. Do tell me. Sorry about that. We're back. Question from Jess. Can you only defeat marauders by landing on an adjacent space? No, you can be as far away as you want. You have to be in a straight line from them, but every space you're away adds 1 to their defense effectively that you have to overcome. And there can't be anything in the way like islands or reefs. It's a quick question before I get. If one does not have a not crossed out duty square matching the 3rd die that was left after picking the 2 for moving, what happens? No duty cross. Yeah, so you just don't. If you don't have any boxes left for the value you have, you just don't cross off the duty for that turn. Great. So hopefully that was all fine. So I have rolled a 1, a 3, and a 6. And actually, in my luck, I can go straight up with a 1. I can go 3 spaces. I can pick myself up a new sailor, which is very useful. And with the 6, I can cross this off it. And now I've got this sailor of the first row here as well. So that is actually looking quite good, I would say. Not a bad little start. Yeah, so we will follow on. We'll keep going. Probably going to try and get onto the island, I would say. Spot those spots. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you thank you. Okay, I've got a 2, a 4, and a 5. So yeah, I'm probably going to just head in the 2 direction onto the island. So I get the fort, which lets me unlock that. And then I've got to decide which fort I'm going to do. A bit tricky, actually. Maybe I'm going to try it for these 2s. I probably think I'm going to kill off more of these 2s. Well, maybe not, actually. Maybe I'll try the hardest ones, because I've got lots of sailors, so I'm like quite buff about that. So I'm going in the direction of 2. I've only got to go 1 space, so I could choose either the 4 or the 5 as the speed. I'm going to run into the island either way. This is the 4th round, so I should tick this off. So I have to choose, like, do I want to kind of work towards quarters or ballista? Well, I've got a whole bunch of people for fighting, so let's try working towards the quarters. I think that will help me in my duties in the future. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. Oh yeah, sorry. Whoops, apologies for the. That was from Jess's stream that I was looking up the Twitch channel. Okay, I have a 1, a 3, and a 5. What I really want to do is a 3 is great because it lets me get out of this. I mean, there's a couple of options. I could do a 3 with just a 1, which would be enough to then fight this particular marauder, but I'm not that worried about them. So what I might do is I might try and travel as far as I can. So 5 would get me here, but what I might do is I might even make it a 6 because that will be enough to kill off this. So I might go in the direction 3. Whoops, that was not very good. Let's try and do it straight. Whoa, let's try and get in the center of the thing. Okay, so I use the 3. I'm changing the 5. Well, I could change either a 5 or a 1 to a 6. So actually, I'm going to change the 1 into a 6. So I cross off 1 sailor. So that was to go 6 spaces, and then I have the 5 left, which is going to unlock my quarters here. So I'm going to have plus or minus 1 to duties. And then I also get to fight this this marauder. Has a defense of 2. I'm 1 away, so its total is 3. And I have 7 plus another 2, so I have like 9. So I easily kill it, basically. So we continue on killing these kind of more easy marauders. The hard ones are down here and up here. So actually, I'm pretty well located. I might try and go down and fight this one, I think, on my next turn. One Man Crowd, welcome. Can you depart from either hex of the island? Yes. So if you have a double-spaced island like this, and this is like in the first map as well, you're allowed to depart from either space. And while we show the fort on like one of the spaces, it's effectively on both spaces. So no matter where you land, you get the bonus, and then you can leave from either one of them. That's fine. But yeah, thanks for the question. Yeah, okay, and I have to check that I've probably missed crossing off a turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I have missed one turn. Chat is going to have to keep me honest, I think. Jess asked, what is the iconography for reefs? Are they the shaded boxes? Yeah, so they're these shaded ones like here, 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 here. There's these 4 things here. Hopefully, you know, I said at the start of the stream, this is a bit, I've got a slightly blurry sheet, unfortunately, and the sheet's not going to be blurry when you get it and printed. It's just the thing with the file and uploading it onto Sketchpad. So yeah, it's these kind of shaded hexes. Yeah. Great. Okay, so we're now on to round 6. I'm going to cross it off first. Let's see how we go. So I'd like a 4, actually. I'd love to come straight down here and bop this marauder. Oh, perfect. I have a 2, a 3, and a 4. So I'm definitely going to take that 4. What I might do, actually, is go 4 and 4. So I'm changing the 3 into a 4. So I have to use 1, and I have a 2 left. And I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, sure, I'll take a 2. Because I have my quarters, so that 2 could be a 1 or a 3. But 2 is okay, I don't really have a lot in there. But importantly now, I have exactly what I need to beat this Marauder. I have basically, well, actually I have 8. I have 6 sailors plus 2 for this heroic one, so I have 8. And I need 7 because it's 6 plus 1. I'm 1 away. So I'm able to defeat it. I cross off the Marauder here, cross this one here. And yeah, that's looking quite good. So I really want to hunt down this last Marauder up here because I'm sort of doubling this road. So the fort is doubling the gold I get from this road. Right now I'd be getting 4 gold, doubled to 8 at the end of the game. But if I manage to get the 3rd one, then it'll go from 8 to 16. So that's a lot of gold. So let's see if I can do that. Let's see if the dice are gonna help me out. And once again, I'm gonna be counting my rounds quite a bit, here, unfortunately. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so we're now on to the 7th turn. Okay, no, I don't have any stars yet. I do have to keep a bit of an eye on that because I do need 3 stars to win at the to win the what am I saying? To win the solo mode, I need at least 3 stars. I'm probably going to get 1 here at the Marauders pretty easy. So I'm going to go down here, and I'll get that. So that's in the direction of 3. And I could use the 5 or the 6. And you know what? I'm going to use the 6. So I'm going to go down there. And yeah, that was a pretty simple move, I guess. So, all right. So we're on to the 8th round. After this, we'll be halfway through. Oh gosh. 2, a 5, and a 5. I must say I'm getting very lucky with the directions because I really wanted to. Do I want a 5? Yeah, actually, that's not that bad. Well, just going to go 2. And just the question is whether it's knocking this one out. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not that useful, although it would let me kill this one. But actually, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 6 to here. I'm going to use 1 sailor to do that. And then I have a 5 left for my duties, and I'm going to use that on my armory because I can have a plus or minus 1 because of my quarters. And so now I've unlocked the armory, so my new sailors are going to be heroic. And then I'm going to fight this Marauder here. So its defense is 2, and I'm 3 spaces away, so I need 5, and I have 7. So that's fine. I can kill this one here. It's gone, and I cross off the next space. So I'm starting to get to the point where I'd like to have a fort on this road for the Marauders as well, I think. So I'm going to quickly check that I'm doing 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've done 8 turns. Coming into the second half of the game, really need some stars because I don't have any stars yet. But they always come near the end, so that's how it works normally. So I've got a 2, and a 4. Not fantastic, I must say. But what I can do actually is, I can come up here actually and try and, yeah, maybe let's do that actually. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to change the 4 into a 5. And I go 2 spaces. I get this this relic here, which lets me make one of my sailors heroic. And then I'm left with a 2. And I will keep it as a 2. So I'll just put it here. And now I can't find anything. I don't have anything in a straight line. So that will be my turn. Jess has another question. No worries. Welcome to have questions. Why are there 5 star spaces for your status if you only need 3 to activate at the end of the game? So in a multiplayer game, that's right. Once one player gets 3 stars, that triggers the end of the game, but you get one more round after that. So in that final round, the person who got 3 stars could get some more stars, and it is possible to get multiple stars in a single go. So yeah, that's why we print all 5 on the map. And it's also possible in a solo game, of course, because you don't stop when you get 3 in a solo game. You just have to get at least 3. You always play 16 rounds in the solo game. Okay, so we are now, this is round number 10. And I really want a 1, I think. I would like to get that fort. That would be quite nice. Whoops. I have a 2, a 6, and a 6. Okay, well, that was pretty straightforward. I mean, interestingly enough, I wonder if I actually do want that, because 2 goes out here, and I could get this island, which is 7 points, which is pretty good. It just says, okay, so I'll need to try to get more than 3 stars when we play on Monday. Yeah, it's definitely try that out. It's good. Okay, I'm gonna ignore this, because also if I go here, then I'm in a good spot to get this star. And every star is 3 gold as well. So okay, so I'm gonna go 2, and then I'm gonna go 6. That'll give me that 7 gold at the end of the game, and I have 6 left over, and that's fine. I'm gonna cross off the final one here, which means that now it's going to be 3 gold because I've got it to the mastery level. And remember, I need 3 of them at the mastery level to get a star if I'm going to do that. Okay, so round 11, fight. Definitely would like that star above me. I think that makes sense to do that. I have a 2, a 4, and a 5. So I'm going to change my 2 into a 1. I'm going to go up here. That gives me my first legendary star. Huzzah, huzzah. And I could choose the 4 or the 5. I am going to choose the 5. Because so that's fine. So that's another mushroom. So I only have to get 1 more completed, and that will get me a star in that row as well. And now I could actually fight this Marauder. They have a defense of 4. I'm 1 away, so that's 5 I need. And I actually have 6. So I've actually done quite well. I've sort of stayed ahead of the Marauders. It's not worth a lot. You tend to get more the more Marauders you get of a particular type, but that's not too bad. Okay, so this is where I check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so this is now the 12th turn. I'm not doing too badly. Quite happy with how it's looking. Let's see. Okay, I have a 2, a 4, and a 4. Oh, that is a bit rough. It's a bit rough. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I'd like to go into this region, I guess. I think. And I need to change a 4. I'd have to use a. So the problem is I'm going to run out of sailors, and I only have 6. So basically, I really need another sailor, actually. So maybe I can try and work for that, actually. So how about I change a 4 into a 5. No. Oh, actually, I'm gonna need to use, because I really want to go in a 6 direction, unfortunately. Which means I'm gonna have to use a legendary sailor, which is a bit annoying. I'm going to be a bit short of sailors, I think, to defeat this one. What can I do? What can I do? I could go 5 with a 2. Maybe that's a better move. And hope that yeah, okay. So I'm going to just change one of the 4s to a 5. And then I'm going to go 2 to here. That's probably a bit better. And I have a 4, which I'm going to change to a 3 because I have +1 or -1 on my duties. I'm going to try and get another sailor here. What shall we do with the exhausted sailor? What shall we do with the exhausted sailor? Indeed, they don't. Yeah, they don't help you fight at all. It's not very useful at all. So can I fight this one? I can't because its defense is 4 and it's 2 away. So it's total defense of 6. I only have 5 worth of sailors. So each of the heroics is 2, and I have 1 normal one left. So I can't fight that. So yeah, you can see once you get once you get a bit short on sailors, fighting becomes a lot more difficult. All right, so round 13. So what I really want is a 6, actually, because I'd like to get close to, a 6-3-3. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to be so close, but I'm not going to be close enough, actually. Okay, so I'm going to just come up here, annoyingly. I do wonder whether I just use a sailor. 6, a 3, and a 3. Okay. And I'm going to choose the 3. I'm going to put it on this 2, which unlocks the rudder. But unfortunately, I can't fight this because, again, its defense is 7, effectively. If I'd been able to get that extra sailor, if I got a 1, then I would have got a new sailor, and they would have been heroic because of the armory. So yeah, unfortunately, it didn't quite get there. So we're going to have to kind of hope for the next round that I get something which isn't going to go very far. I need to stay close to this marauder. I'm on their path, basically. A 1, a 2, and a 4. I think that probably is going to do it. I hope. Well, maybe not, actually. No, it is going to be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1 with the 4 speed, so I sort of bump into here. And with the 2, I'm going to change it to, actually, what I can do even is I can change the 1, because I have a + or -1 to direction with my rudder, I can change the 1 into a 6, still go 4, so I go here, and then with the 2, I have a + or -1 in duties, so I'm going to use it to be a 1 instead, and that gives me a sailor. And because of my armory, my new sailor's heroic. So I now have 7, which is exactly enough to kill this marauder, which is going to be a star, a legendary star. So we got there. Hey, Alex, how you going? Welcome, Akbar. You're here almost to, well, I haven't won yet. I still need 1 more star somehow, but I just need to be able to get a 2 or a 1 or a 3. So as long as I roll a 1, 2, or a 3, but I could even change it with my sailors. So I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to lose. We'll see what the scores are going to be like. Yeah, so we're entering the penultimate round 15 now. What am I going to be trying to do? It's a good question. I have a 5, a 5, and a 6. Well, actually, I think the best is just to probably run into here, I guess. I'm going to go 5 with a 6. So that's sort of 3 points, which is good. And I have a 6 left for my duties. It's not particularly useful. Not particularly useful at all, actually. I am just going to change it into a 1. It's not doing much to me. Yeah. We posted an update about it. No, thanks. Well, hopefully it is. You can catch up on the stream later and see how it plays. We are on the last turn, the 16th turn, where I hope to get my 3rd star, and I really need to get it basically by filling in this row in the duties. You need to basically fill in 3 rows completely in the duties to get the 3rd star there. I have a 3, a 3, and a 5. So I know one of the 3s, because I have a + or -1, is going to be a 2. So I basically have a 3 and a 5. 5 goes this way. Not that bad. 3 goes this way, and maybe I'd be able to kill off this marauder, actually. Yeah, so how about I do this? Actually, I'm going to Yeah. So I'm going to go in the direction 3 for 5. With the 3, I'm going to change it into a 2, basically, which crosses off this, which gives me my 3rd star. So I have successfully got my 3 stars. And then I am actually going to still be able to fight off this Marauder because it has a defense of 5. Effectively, it's 4 plus I'm 1 away. And that will be enough to kill this one here. And that is going to be the end of the game, basically. So I have won the solo game because I got 3 stars, at least 3 stars in the 16 rounds. So that's good. And so now I can add up my score and see how we go. So on the islands with numbers that I visited, I've got a 6, a 7, and a 3. So that's 16 points. For the unexplored territories, I visited 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 16. This is one change. We'll post an update about it soon. As I said, like a lot, all that we've shown on the Kickstarter, it's like 95% done, but we're still doing a little bit of development. And one tweak we've done is to increase the points that you get from the unexplored area for gold from, it was sort of a triangular sequence, so like 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, to basically square numbers, so like 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. So basically you get a bit more, you get more points. We just wanted it to be a bit more of a focus in the game. As Alex says, better get it finalized before it's the printer. Well, I mean, I was thinking, so many people are talking about, laminating the sheet. So I do actually feel this responsibility to make sure that you get the best version out there. But of course, an advantage with the digital thing is we can always send updates. We don't really want to. But the thing is, like, when you're the thing getting used to for being a designer and suddenly being kind of a publisher is that when you're a designer, the publisher makes the decision about when the game is finished development. But now that you're the publisher as well, you never know when to stop, basically. So, and I should say this particular map is still a bit under development as well, and probably a few numbers will change here and there. I think the mechanisms won't change, but the numbers might a little bit. Anyway, so I got 16 for that export. So from Marauders, I get 4 for this one, 3 here. And then I get 8 doubled. So that's 16 plus 4. So I get 23 all up for my Marauders. So I unused Heroic. Actually, I have 3 unused Heroics. So that's going to be 6 points. You get 2 points for each unused Heroic. 3 points for each complete row in the duties. So that's going to be 9. And I have 3 stars. So that's also 9. You get 3 points for each star. So that is it. So I have 32, 50, 55, 61, 70, 79 all up. So yeah, pretty good. I should note that the scores for this map generally are higher than for the other map. So yeah, we're kind of looking at that and seeing what we might be able to do about it. But yeah, that's basically it. We shall see. Tabulorus asks, yeah, especially the place to put your ship's name has to be in the final version. Yes, that is definitely yes. That was yesterday's update, I think. So there will be a sort of a space probably around here. These stars will move down slightly, and there'll be like a kind of a pennant or a flag where you can either name your ship, or you can name your captain, or you can do whatever you want on your sheet. Which yeah, we saw a lot of streamers wanting to do that. So I think it's a nice thing to be able to add. So yeah, very very happy to do that. Yeah, so that's the Marauders Reef, basically. That's map number 2 for Voyages, and that's basically how it works. So I hope that was kind of interesting. As before, check out the page if you haven't already, but I'm guessing a lot of people on the stream probably have. I still kind of can't believe that, yeah, like this number is kind of incomprehensible to me. I can't believe that, yeah, so many people backed it. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone out there, and especially those who've backed and spread the word about it. It's quite funny. I must say the one thing that both of us are not very good at, say, self-promotion or like advertising or these sort of things. And it's sort of funny seeing we're starting to pop up in a few of the kind of Kickstarter, like these kind of roundups or videos or articles where they sort of people go over active Kickstarters. And everyone, without a fault, basically goes like, Voyages came out of nowhere. We haven't heard about it. And that's because, yeah, we're not very good at telling anyone about it. So real huge thanks to everybody who has helped us with that. It's something we hope we will get better. But, of course, this is our first time out as a game studio. So we're still learning. We are just 2 people. And we have to kind of do everything. And we have some things that we're really good at. but other things that we're trying to get better at, and it's a huge relief that we've got as much support from other people. So thank you so much for that. I should just chill. Yes, can you post the kinks? Oh yeah, that. See, just true professional. There's the link to the Kickstarter. So yes, please, if you're watching this later, please head on down. Where it's still live for 9 days. There's going to be still more to talk about, and we've still got more things that we're going to kind of tease with possible future content. But yes, so just to reconfirm that you will get delivered the first 2 maps as and that's going to happen basically probably up to 2 weeks after the end of the campaign. So we're hoping before Christmas we'll be able to send out the emails, and that's only because we have to wait for Kickstarter to basically process all the pledges and the money, and once that's all processed, then we can send out the rewards, and that can take up to 2 weeks basically. So we hope it's going to be quicker than that, and we're ready to go basically and hit email once we hit send, once we get those pledges processed. But yeah, Kickstarter has to do that basically. Oh, Jess, very, very, very kind. Yeah, no, we're hoping that, like, I think, obviously print at home, print and play is not a new concept, but I think it's a really great community, and yeah, it's a relatively inexpensive way to, get into gaming and join it friends. It's a great game, as hopefully you can see, to stream if you're doing a video chat. I was using this sketch.io again, which is pretty easy to use. You just drag and drop the file in. And then you can sort of draw on it, and it works really well. So yeah, thank you, Panda. Thanks for the backing, and thank you, Jess. Thank you, Alex. And thank you, everyone. No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you, Panda. Have a great weekend. Great Friday. Thank you for joining. Yeah, so that is probably basically going to do me, I think. Unless anyone has any particular questions about the campaign or anything like that that they'd like to ask, feel free. Happy to answer any more questions. Otherwise, if anyone has a good idea of who we could raid, we will do that. I can have a quick look and see who is streaming. Not so many people I know. What is that picture behind me? Oh yeah, I said at the start of the stream. So this is actually. Oh, now you're going to see the boxes behind it, which I had sort of artfully tried to hide. This is an advent calendar, actually. And it's a vintage, kind of vintage. It's about 40 years old, as far as I know. It's been passed down from my parents to me, from Denmark. And basically, you have this kind of scene. It starts like this, and you fold, it folds out. And then each day you slot in. So these are like little sort of cutouts, like just cardboard cutouts, and they all have their specific slots that they go in. But I'm not sure if you can kind of see just how, sort of, these have been through a lot, basically, over 40 years. So, yeah, we have to be quite careful with them. And but I really, and it's sort of funny because I know in a lot of countries, especially in Europe, chocolate is very common for advent calendars, but in Australia it's not quite as common. And definitely, our family had no chocolate calendars, so it was always just, it was just pictures and things. But this was always my favorite because it was a little bit different since I was a kid, and my parents gave it to me when I moved overseas, which is really, really nice. So it's a little bit of my childhood, basically, that I get to have each year. Oh, Panda is going live. Okay. I will hang around until Panda is streaming. So I'll go over there. Tantorus. Any new information you can share in regards to which print and play platforms the game might be available once the Kickstarter is over for people missed in case? So it's a really good question, Tantorus. We don't really know, actually. I have to admit that when we decided to go onto Kickstarter, Rory and I, we had no idea kind of how well it would do. And we were just sort of okay, let's throw up on Kickstarter. Let's see what the kind of response is. Because we didn't really know whether we want to manage our own platform or, it's all these things. The other thing that's a bit tricky with this model, or at least how we set it up, which I think we like, is when you pledge for the game or you would buy it, you kind of automatically get all the content that is made for it now and everything that will be made for it in the future. So our real intention is that we will keep making maps for this, for Voyages. I mean, maybe not forever, but I mean, I don't want to make any promises, but I would hope that we're going to make at least 3 or 4 or 5 maps for Voyages. And they're all already now, but we're going to release them as we go. And of course, we can email them directly. If you buy it from another site, it's just a little bit trickier to manage that. As long as we, could get the emails and things like that, we would probably do that. So yeah, we will figure out a way. We haven't figured it out yet, but we will definitely do that. But yeah, we want the game to be available around. Just says, just loaded our advent calendar with chocolates last night. We have a wooden one in the drawers. Yeah, that's really smart. I know other folks. I mean, that's actually a completely foreign concept to me. I don't think I ever saw anything like that in Australia growing up. There were no reusable like consumable calendars. I mean, we reused like picture ones because we would have ones with the little windows, but we would reuse them. Like, so you knew what was behind the windows, you knew what was coming. Yeah, I could talk about Australian Christmas. Yeah, because we also had a tree, but of course in Australia, we don't have the kind of Christmas trees that are growing. I mean, that's not a thing at all. People do have Christmas trees, and I guess some well-off people probably have real trees, but we had a fake one that had like a wooden pole as the trunk, but it was very thin, and it had these metal rods, thin metal rods that you would put a sleeve of tinsel. It was like some patent pending system from like the 70s or 80s. You would have this, it was like a thin plastic, a very thin plastic sleeve that would go directly on the metal rod, and then off that plastic sleeve would be tinsel, green tinsel. So you would have to slide these, first you have to slide the tinsel like sheath onto the metal rod, and then you slot each of these metal rods into the wooden pole. And in the pole, like the holes that were drilled were like at angles, so that basically when you put the rods in, they would like fan out and look like a tree. So the ones at the top would be like sort of almost straight up, the ones down at the bottom would be like straight out, and then they would sort of graduate. And then you would hang it out. And we had this same Christmas tree, and my parents still use that tree every year. We don't remove the tinsel from the rods anymore because it used to like flake off. But you could like some of the funny things about that is you can't put lights on it because it was like a fire hazard if you put like electrical lights on this metal tree. So we never had lights on the tree. And it was a real fun thing the first year in the Czech Republic when we got a real Christmas tree, and we got like the biggest one because I wanted to like try it, even though our apartment wasn't that big. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah. Oh, Alex has been cracking up my Exit calendar. We've been doing that too. We didn't do today's because Tracy had to leave quite early, so we'll be doing day 3 and I guess day 4 tomorrow. But the first 2 days were quite good. We weirdly struggled with both. I don't know whether we're not in the Exit kind of mindset at the moment. We haven't played an Exit for a really long time. We haven't done an escape room or anything like that for a while, so maybe we're not. And I'd recommend everyone head off over to Alex's. Actually, I'm going to try and find Alex's Patreon so I can tell everybody to go over and check Alex's Patreon. Can I share it? Where do I go? I'm guessing it must be this. Yeah, so check out, because Alex is doing also it's kind of like an advent calendar puzzle kind of escape roomy kind of thing, kind of over the internet, and it's a really great deal. It's like £4 or something, very inexpensive. So yeah, check that out if you're also looking at. Yeah, Alex, I think you can get in the right mind frame. Yeah, it's funny because it's one of those things that once you see how it works, and usually for both of them we had to do a hint. We had to do the first hint, but the moment with the first hint, then we had the first hint and then we got it. It wasn't like, but it's also a bit strange because you have to destroy things, but you don't want to destroy things at the same time. I don't want to give away any like spoilers, but the second day one, you have to like manipulate the components in a way. And it was funny because we didn't want to manipulate them, or like we were scared of like breaking them or breaking them the wrong way because you can't redo it. So it's funny that like you don't quite know where the boundaries are exactly. And they were telling us like, they tell you like don't throw anything away, so we kind of know you kind of get the sense that maybe everything's important. But anyway, oh hey F Caroline, how you going? Already finished my exam. Yeah, because I guess you did a review on the podcast, right? I haven't actually listened to. I saw the podcast and that you had done that. So I will have to hear what you think. I will listen to the podcast soon, hopefully, and see that. But yeah, but it's fun. It's a really good idea. It's definitely. I mean, as a designer, I'm like, would have loved to have thought of that first. But yeah, Jess says I want to get one of the exit calendars, but it was super pricey for US shipping. So they're not available in the US. Is that what you're saying, Jess? Basically, I had to use a friend at Cosmos Germany to send me a copy because it would also been a bit pricey to get in the Czech Republic, like an English version. If I'd want a German one, it'd be very, very easy. But yeah, so I had a good friend at the Cosmos office, which helped me out a lot. I mean, doing the review was an excuse to open hours early. Yeah. Well, I mean, but it's part of the. I guess the only other thing about the Advent calendar I still haven't quite worked out is that, like, I'm not sure if I'm always in like a puzzle solving mood in the morning. I think the trick is finding the right time of day to do it for us. I'm not sure if morning is the best time, but we want to do it together, Teresa and I. So it's finding the right time to do that. But anyway, first world problems, but that's all fine. Anywho, we've basically gone over an hour, so I think that might do me for the evening. But thank you so much for hanging around. As a random chat about Christmas. I hope you're all really well. I hope well and healthy and safe, however you might be, and enjoying some games if you can, or if not, just enjoying things generally. Thank you again so much for all the support for Voyages. Really, like, I feel like I'm just repeating myself everywhere I put things on Twitter, but it is kind of unbelievable, and so, but it's unbelievable because of the support of fantastic people like you all. So really, thank you so much. And I'm sure I'll probably do one more stream, I guess, before the end of the campaign. We were thinking of maybe doing like a celebration stream at the end, but I'm not sure. I definitely want to do a stream once the files go out, so that everyone can play along in one stream. That would be really cool. But I'll have to work that out. That might be more of an early New Year's kind of thing, I guess, but we shall see how we go. Great. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to head over to Panda, and I'm going to try and find her. Is Panda streaming already? Does anyone know? Let me find her name. Because I thought I was following her. Oh, obviously I'm not following her somehow. Great. Okay. Well, we're going to head over there. So yeah, thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful evening or day wherever you are. Have a great weekend, and see you again sometime over the internet. Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. Let's go. Start the raid. Getting ready to go. Getting ready to go. Cheers. Oh yes, and Monday, just a stream, same time, same place, Monday night. All right. Let's go. Bye.